Dear students, we'll see the poem Ulysses from the line 33. Okay, in the second part, we'll see from 33 line 33. First part in the first part, Ulysses uh, uh, talk of his speaks on the unquenchable thirst of the Greek hero Ulysses for travel and exploration of new vistas until death would overpower them. You know, it does not make any use or purpose when a king idles away his time near the fireplace with his old wife, making unequal laws for the uncultured people. Ulysses cannot stop traveling because he wants to experience the depth of life. So he had enjoyed and suffered equally. He has been alone and along with people and traveled over the seas to become famous for his unquenched thirst to know. During his travel, he has met a variety of people, cultures, weather, governments. He had been honored all and have taken delight out of battles. On the plains of windy Troy, he has been a part of all he had experienced, yet he wants to know what is beyond the horizon. He finds it dull to stop. He has always been moving. He is very negative about restfulness. Here, breathing isn't life, it is just like piling life on life. He is eager to know new things, even they were evil. Even as he grows old, his thirst for knowledge is beyond human thoughts. Up to that, we saw no? From now this second part of the poem. You'll see the second part of the poem. Okay, this is my son. This is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the sceptre and the isle. We are well loved of me, discerning to fulfill this labor by slow prudence to make mild a rugged people and through soft degrees conquer, subdue them to the useful and the good. Ulysses introduces here he is introducing, he introduces us to his son and heir Telemachus, who seems like the right guy to take over the job of the king of Ithaca. He is smart and he knows how to make his people to do things without being too harsh about it. He is slow, of course. He is slow, but he can manage the people, manage the Ithaca people. The scripture, rod of king, the scripture ruling, then island. The scripture is a ceremonial staff that symbolizes authority. Ulysses means something like I leave him in charge. He is the Telemachus is now in charge of Ithaca. When compared with Ulysses, Telemachus seems a lot less restless. He has slow prudence. Meaning he is patient and willing to make the best decision for the people of Ithaca without being too hasty. The people of Ithaca are rugged, even though they are rugged, which means that they are little uncivilized and uncultured. People, rugged people, they are with a little bit of an attitude. That's why they need to be reined in and put to good use. This Telemachus can um, use them or make them to do useful things and to become good. Telemachus has the capacity to deal those rugged people. Soft degrees implies that Telemachus will civilize the citizens. Soft degrees. He has the ability to change the uncivilized people to civilized citizen, and that too in a good way, very nice way. Then most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, decent not to fail, in offices of tenderness and pay, meet adoration to my household gods. When I am gone, he works his work, I mine. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail. Ulysses tells us more about Telemachus. Qualifications: he is a straight shooter all the way, a nice guy. He is very sincere in his duties. Descend not to fail. Descend not to fail means Telemachus is smart enough not to fail at doing things for people and paying them proper respect to gods. Meet means appropriate or suitable. Appropriate. We are not sure whether when I am gone. When I am gone means that Ulysses is planning on going back to sea for some more adventures, or he is thinking about his own death. It's imagery. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail. Ulysses shifts our attention to the port of Ithaca, where he tells us a ship is preparing to set sail. The third part of this poem. There gloom the dark broad seas, my mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, that ever with the frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine and opposed. Ulysses gloom. Here gloom is a verb, means appearing dark. The time becomes dark. Thunder and sunshine. Thunder and the sunshine is used here to mean something like bad times and good times. Bad times and good times, they have gladly gone through thick and thin for Ulysses. The phrase opposed. It's also a little tricky. Here in next stanza, free hearts, free foreheads. You and I are old. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil. Death closes all, but something o'er the end, some work of noble note may yet to be done. Free hearts, the phrase free hearts, foreheads is also a little tricky. Ulysses means that his sailors opposed whatever came in their way, thunder. For example, they did it as free men and with a lot of confidence. They are confident. They are full of confidence. Speaking of old age, Ulysses suggested that even though old people are respected, they also have responsibilities. not unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights began to twinkle from the rocks, the long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends. Ulysses knows that the death will end everything, but he still believes he can do great things, things worthy of men who fought against the will of the gods during the Trojan War. They, Ulysses and his companions fought with gods. Here is an old poetic word that means before. Ulysses observed the sunset and the arrival of night. But it seems like he is thinking about his own death as well. It reminds us of ghosts or people mourning a death. Lights begin to twinkle from the rocks is an elegant way of saying the stars are coming out. The stars are coming out. Sunset. The long day wanes, the sun sets, and the slow moon climbs, becoming night. It is not too late to seek a newer world. Push off and sitting well in order smite the sounding furrows for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and the bots. Ulysses is addressing his friends. Come, it's not too late to seek newer world. He tells them what he's been telling us all along. It's never too late. It's never too late to go in search of new lands. Here, furrow. Furrow refers to the track or mark made in the water by the ship. He tells his sailor to smite or strike it most likely with oars. Strike it with oars. Purpose can mean two different things. Purpose can make two different things. It can mean either destiny or I intend to sail as far as I can. Destiny, fate. The bots of all the western star is not a place where the stars go to bathe themselves. It refers to the outer ocean or river that the Greeks believed surround the earth. They thought the stars descended into it. Then, of all the western stars, until I die, it may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles whom we knew. Ulysses realized that he and his companions might die, but he is ready for that. If they die, they might even get to go to the happy isles and visit their old pal Achilles. If they die, they may go to happy island, or they'll meet Achilles. Though much is taken, Achilles is an allusion. I will say in glossary, he is a warrior. He is a Greek warrior. The greatest of Greek warrior. As an infant, his mother dipped into the river Styx, which made him invulnerable everywhere, but the feet by which she held him. So the Happy Isles, a fortunate island situated in the Atlantic Ocean, popularly known as Greek paradise. It's a Happy Isles is a Greek paradise. Though much is taken, much abides, and though we are not now the strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Ulysses yet again tells us that even though he and his sailors are old and don't have lot of energy in them, there's enough left to go little further. Abides is a word that means remains. Remains. These guys are a team with one heartbeat. They are old and broken, but they still have the will to seek out and face challenges without giving up. Strong in will. This phrase, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield, means something like we are strong because of our will to strive, or our will to strive is strong. Though they are weak, they can do everything with their willpower. So here he ends this monologue with this. Even as he grows old, his thirst for knowledge is beyond human thoughts. He lives to culture the people, to make the. He leaves his son Telemachus. Telemachus to take up his rule and labor and use his wisdom. Is not to culture the people, to make them useful, not to fail in his duties to common man. He can manage the rugged people. To show consideration and take care of his home and country after his death, as the ship is ready to depart. The sailors have worked hard for him in sunshine and darkness. When the responsibility is given away, the old hearts are free. Yet old age has its honor, death ends everything, leaving some noble work to be completed. The desire to seek a newer world, to push, to sail beyond the sunset, and a purpose is seen in these lines. He is not afraid even of death, after which he expects to reach Happy Isles to meet great Achilles. So much of his life lived, so much still waits. The youth's strength might have been lost with what they are in old age, with heroic hearts weakened by time. Their will is strong to struggle and find without submitting to the weakness and tiredness of the old age. So he wants to say many things, and they departed from Ithaca, and they are going for to get new land. They may see Happy Isles, or they may meet Achilles. Okay. Is it easy? This poem is very interesting and easy to understand. No, if you like this poem, if you like my teaching, give me a like and share to your friends, then subscribe. Okay, thank you.